where we must prioritize climate proofing of energy infrastructure. And on number 7, last recommendation, ESCOM must start developing structures for its offices, considering that they are renting out since their office got burnt 12 years ago. In conclusion, the findings on this report are clear. Malawi energy challenges are not isolated, they are structural, interconnected, and urgent. Secondly, the continued gap between supply and demand, coupled with institutional inefficiency, is placing the country in a circle of persistent load shedding and economic stagnation. However, with decisive action, coordinated reforms, and strategic investment, our country can transform the energy sector into a driver of growth and development. We need to move forward, honourable members, and truly focus on issues that matter and drive our development. Finally, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, I wish to convey my sincere gratitude to your office for the steadfast support extended to the committee, enabling it to effectively discharge its mandate. I also wish to acknowledge the Secretariat for the unwavering dedication and assistance. Allow me, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, to extend my heartfelt thanks to the officials of EGENCO and ESCOM for graciously availing themselves to engage with the committee. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, and honourable members in here, on behalf of the committee, I wish to thank you for your attention, and I further urge you to adopt this report. With these remarks, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, I beg to move. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. May I recognize Seconda? Before the seconder, honorable male colleagues, these hugs, mind you, this parliament is live, and your families are watching parliament as we speak. So don't dare to sleep outside tonight. Zimba South, on a point of order.
Yeah, through you, First Deputy. The leader had indicated that this is the only final report that we're going to have today. But if you look at the order paper, there is also a report from Social and Community Committee, which I thought, if it can be possible, that we can also exhaust it, and then we have the Foreign Affairs Minister to also do his presentation. Just begging, so that at least all the committee reports are done, so that when you are coming again, we should no longer have any committee report. It's just a suggestion through you, leader, and also through you, the First Deputy Speaker.
Thank you very much. That will be taken care by the leader at some point while we proceed. May I recognize Seconda from the Natural Resources Committee? Honour Member for Lilongwe Kampuno, you have the floor, Madam.
Thank you so much, First Deputy Speaker, for recognizing the beautiful people of Lilongwe Kampuno constituency to second the report. I rise to second the report of the Committee on Natural Resources, Energy and Climate Change, ably presented by the chairperson. This report reflects the daily reality of Malawians. Our nation continues to face significant power deficit and challenges in the energy sector are worsening. At Tedzani, the committee observed that climate-related events such as cyclones have already reduced the generation capacity, highlighting that our energy infrastructure is not yet resilient. Engagement with ESCOM further revealed that even the power generated is not efficiently delivered due to losses, aging system, and financial constraints. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, a matter requiring urgent attention is financially discipline in the sector. While citizens pay their electricity bills, some public institutions accumulate massive arrears, creating a cycle where ESCOM cannot pay NGECO, NGECO cannot invest, and ultimately the nation suffers. This is not just an administrative issue, it is a government issue. Another concern in our continued over-dependence on hydropower, with changing rainfall patterns and extreme weather events, Malawi must diversify into solar, wind, and regional power trade or risk prolonged shortages. Your committee, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, found that Malawi has immense energy potential. What is needed is decisive action, discipline, and strategy investment. If we act now, we can stabilize this sector and drive economic growth. If we delay, the crisis will happen. With these remarks, I beg to second the motion that this House adopts the report. I thank you, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir.
Neighbor. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, seconder of the report. Leader, I think today those who doubted the leadership of women, today they are now taking it reality. Because the women in the House today are shining and they are eloquently presenting the issues. Leader, you should be proud that your women in your House are able to articulate issues like that. Because the women in the House are your women, leader. So don't allow just anyone to start hugging them while you are here. So congratulations all women for the job well done. Honour members, I will recognize takers. Oh, leader.
First Deputy Speaker, in order for us to dispose of a number of important reports, I had requested the Speaker in the morning that we restrict the number of contributors to 3, so that we've got adequate time to deal with lots of business that we have. And as requested by Mzimba Southwest, I think.
South, leader.
Mzimba South. We will also consider a report by the Social Welfare Committee. If it pleases the House. Today is their House. For us on this side, we have no problem. I thank you.
Thank you, leader. Honorable colleagues, I will recognize 3 takers for debate on the report on the Natural Resources Committee of this House. I will recognize the honourable member for Rumpi Central. Rumpi Central, then I'll go to the honourable member for Nchisi Central East. Then I'll go to the honourable member Chikwawa Central West. In that order, colleagues. Thank you very much. Rumpi Central, you have the floor.
First, Deputy Speaker, first let me begin by conveying my official, though belated, congratulations to the State President of the Republic of Malawi, His Excellency Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika, for being elected and subsequently sworn in as the 7th President of our beloved country, Malawi following the September 16, 2025 general elections. His election reflects the will of the people, and I wish him success as he leads our nation during this very important period. Allow me also, First Deputy Speaker, to extend my sincere congratulations to the Right Honourable Samir Suleiman MP, yourself, First Deputy Speaker, and the entire team of presiding officers for being entrusted with the noble responsibility of leading deliberations in this august House. Let me also congratulate my fellow members of Parliament for emerging victorious in your respective constituencies and for having the honor of representing your people in this very important august House. You all deserve to be here, and I look forward to working with all of you here as we develop our country together. Most importantly, First Deputy Speaker, I'd like to express my heartfelt gratitude to the people of Rumbi Central for the trust and confidence they have placed in me as their Member of Parliament. I'd also like to sincerely thank my predecessor, Mr. McDowell Chidumba Mkandawire, for the work that he did in laying foundations for development of our Rumbi Central constituency. First Deputy Speaker, it is with great honor and gratitude that I stand here today among distinguished body of leaders entrusted.
Point of order. Point of order. Point of order. Point of order.
Honorable Member for Lilongwe Msinje, please resume your seat. You are a seasoned member of this House. When a new member who has never taken to the floor has a maiden speech, they can rise at any point of debate and contribute their maiden speech. Honorable Rumbi Central, you have the floor. Welcome to the House. For 15 minutes to deliver your maiden speech. You have just consumed 2 minutes, so you still have 13 minutes to present your speech. Thank you.
Thank you, First Deputy Speaker. I admire your competence and experience. It is with great honor and deep gratitude that I stand here among these very distinguished members of Parliament as a body of leaders entrusted with the responsibility of improving the lives of our people. This moment is not only personal, it is deeply symbolic of the hopes, dreams, and aspirations of our people. Since my youth, I've always aspired to contribute my skills, knowledge, and experience towards the development of our country. Those who have followed my journey will attest that although I've faced many challenges along the way, my determination has remained strong. I have never lost hope. My presence in this House today is a testament to perseverance. It is proof that determination, resilience, and faith can overcome difficult circumstances. It is also a message to our youth across the country that the dreams that they have are valid and achievable. Success is not defined by how many times one falls, but by how many times one rises again. Each time we fall, we must pick ourselves up, learn the lessons, and forge ahead with even greater zeal. First Deputy Speaker, I stand here to give a voice to those who are often unheard. I stand here for the girl and the boy who walk long distances every day to access basic education in the most remote parts of Rumbi Central. I stand here for the women who walk for miles, often barefoot, in search of clean and safe drinking water. I stand here for the hardworking farmer who struggles with high costs of living and inputs and low returns for his produce. My tenure here will be defined by siding with the weak and the meek indigent people that we meet in isolated and rural places. Their needs are many, their challenges are real, and the expectations are high. First Deputy Speaker, the challenges facing school-going children in Rumbi Central are serious and must not be ignored. Many children still walk long distances to school every day. Some begin their journeys before sunrise and return home late at night, too exhausted to concentrate on their studies. In some areas, children are still learning under trees, exposed to harsh weather conditions. During the rainy season, lessons are disrupted. During hot season, learning becomes unbearable. This is not the kind of learning environment we should accept for our children. Our schools are also facing shortage of qualified teachers, leading to overcrowded classrooms and reduced quality of education. These are not just challenges, they are barriers to the future of our nation. If we fail to address them, we are failing the next generation. First Deputy Speaker, on healthcare systems in Rumbi Central, they also require urgent attention. Many communities are located far from health facilities, forcing people to travel long distances to access medical care. For pregnant women and the elderly and the sick, the situation is not only difficult, it is dangerous, risky, and even life-threatening. Even where facilities exist, they often lack essential medicines, equipment, and adequate staffing. Case in point, First Deputy Speaker, is the newly constructed mortuary at Bolero Trading Center, which is modern and already handed over to the community, but not functional, simply because personnel have not been recruited, causing a lot of frustration and anger among the law-abiding citizens. First Deputy Speaker, access to healthcare is not a privilege, it is a basic right. We must work together to ensure that all Malawians, regardless of where they live, can access quality healthcare services. First Deputy Speaker, the people of Rumbi Central are hardworking farmers. Agriculture is the backbone of our constituency and a key driver of livelihoods. However, our farmers continue to face significant challenges. The cost of farm inputs remains high, making it difficult for many farmers to afford the necessary materials to improve productivity. Poor roads make it difficult to transport produce to markets, leading to losses and reduced income. Case in point, First Deputy Speaker, is the critical Valabao Bridge at Rumbi Boma, which collapsed less than a month ago and needs urgent, very, very urgent reconstruction. It is the bridge that connects my constituency with that of Mzimba North. First Deputy Speaker, if we truly want to empower farmers, we must address these challenges. We must ensure that access to affordable input and improve rural infrastructure and create fair and reliable markets for agricultural produce. First Deputy Speaker, beyond the challenges of Rumbi Central, I am fully aware that my role in this House extends to contributing to national development. I'm committed to participating in constructive debates, supporting sound legislation, and ensuring that the voices of Malawians are reflected in the decisions that we make. I come to this House under the banner of the mighty UTM. However, guided by the leadership of my party, I'll make it crystal clear that we are committed to putting the interests of Malawians first. We will support policies and laws that benefit our people, and we will stand firm against those that do not. First Deputy Speaker, as a country, we are facing serious economic challenges. Our national debt is high and continues to slow down development. Many Malawians are struggling with the rising cost of living. Opportunities for employment are limited, especially for our young people. These are challenges that require unity, innovation, and decisive action. We must work together across political lines to find solutions that will move our country forward. First Deputy Speaker, for many years we have spoken about industrialization. It is now time to move from words to action. We must invest in industries that add value to our raw materials. We must create an environment that supports local businesses and attracts foreign investment. We must empower our youth with skills that are relevant to the demands of the modern economy. First Deputy Speaker, food security remains a major concern. We must strengthen agricultural initiatives, including the development of mega farms, while ensuring transparency and efficiency in their implementation. Irrigation farming must be expanded so that we are not only dependent on rain-fed agriculture. First Deputy Speaker, we must also take seriously the issues of environmental conservation. Climate change is already affecting our communities through unpredictable weather patterns, floods, and droughts. We must promote sustainable development policies that protect our environment for future generations. First Deputy Speaker, corruption remains one of the biggest obstacles to development in our country. It diverts resources meant for public services and undermines trust in institutions. As members of Parliament, we have a duty and obligation to take a very strong stand against corruption. We must lead by example, uphold integrity in all our work, and support laws and systems that promote transparency and accountability. Before I conclude, First Deputy Speaker, please allow me to comment briefly on the report from the Parliamentary Committee on Natural Resources and Energy. All the issues they have raised here as old as 10 or 20 years. And if I may draw the attention of the House to the State of the Nation address presented by our State President in February. He mentioned his priority being to turn around the economy, and that it hinged on improving mining, manufacturing, among other industries. As an engineer, I know very well that we cannot have mining and manufacturing without enough energy, enough power. As an engineer, I also know that it takes not less than 5 years from the time of concept to have power produced to add to our grid. Therefore, as a precursor to the State President's drive to turn around the economy through mining and industrialization, we need to urgently address the recommendations from the Parliamentary Committee on Natural Resources and Energy. As I conclude, let me emphasize that leadership is about service. It is about putting the needs of the people above personal interests. It is about making decisions that improve the lives and create opportunities. Let us therefore
constituency, I have Mpeza Secondary School. We have modern laboratory and library. Our students, they are failing to study because there is no power. Our youth, they are failing to empower and to do their business because most of the big trading centers in our constituency, there is no power. So I'm supporting the report that we should much invest in Ejenco and ESCOM, that Malawi can benefit. They can benefit. So because of report is very clear, I'm supporting this report that we should much invest in Ejenco and ESCOM. I submit, Mr. First Deputy Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you. The honour member for Chikwawa
Central West.
Central
West.
East.
West.
Central West.
Yes.
You have the floor, sir. The people from Chalo, the people around Ilovo, Ndirande,
Tomu. And second.
Not the Terere though.
And in Tambaterere.
Please, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir. On a lighter note, I would say I think this cohort is so vibrant and we have got so many beautiful ladies in this house.
Thank you very much for saying that. Come on, honorable ladies, please acknowledge the honorable member. Acknowledge him. You are so beautiful, that's what he thinks.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, allow me to contribute to the report by the Natural Resources Committee of Parliament. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is a concern to this country that up to this age, we are still not having adequate power supply. Because if you look at the vision of this country, Malawi 2063, for us to reach that milestone, we need to have enough power so that industries can come into this country, so that businesses can grow. And unfortunately, this project of empowering the electricity supply corporation of Malawi and Ejenco has been very slow. But I believe that with the coming of the DPP government and Nkulukuta Moyo, I do believe that things will change and we are going to capacitate ESCOM and Ejenco so that in my constituency, people from Changambika, people from Ntambaterere, and the people from Chesi and Indilande will have much electricity so that they can do their businesses. Mr. Speaker, sir, as you are aware, for a country to grow economically, it has to have enough electricity. For the country to have mines and other developments, electricity is on top of that. Without electricity, Mr. Speaker, sir, our vision cannot be fulfilled. But with enough and stable power supply in our country, this country will grow economically, even financially. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, the people of Chikwawa Central West are in complete support to the report that we capacitate Ejenco, we also capacitate ESCOM, so that these institutions should be fully operational, so that the people in my constituency will be able to have power supply all day, all night. Mr. Speaker, sir, there is one concern. Though ESCOM is a government institution, EJECO is a government institution, sometimes they receive subvention from government, but in terms of their working capacity, sometimes they're not doing well to the communities out there.
Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried. Chairperson.
Thank you, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir. I rise again to thank all the honorable members who have supported the report. That's Rumpi Central, Nchisi North, Chikwawa Central West. And I know that if time was there, the whole House could have supported the report. It is true, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, that the problems presented in the report, they have been there for over a period of 10 to 15 years. If we don't pay our attention on the problems being faced by ESCOM and EJECO, then our focus on mining and industrialization will remain just a nightmare. It is true that our president, his focus in the SONA, his hope for the economy of Malawi depends on the mining sector. For our investors to come and invest in Malawi, in mining, our energy sector should be vibrant and should be alive. We cannot talk of industrialization and urbanization if the generation of electricity is being ignored. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, let me once again emphasize through the honorable ministers in here, I'm glad today that the Minister of Agriculture and Water Development is here, the Minister of Health is here, the Minister of Transport is here, and the Minister of Defense is here. The MDAs that we articulated in the report, they come from these ministries and more. We ask you, our honorable ministers, let your ministries pay the bills on time so that the poor Malawians should not suffer. The poor Malawians, even when they have a bill of 1,000, 2,000, they suffer. The electricity gets disconnected. So our ministers convey the message to whoever is responsible in your ministries in paying utility bills to go and pay their bills. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, I want to ask the Honorable House through you and through the ministers and the entire House to adopt this report so that it becomes of use. Thank you so much.
Chair, you need to beg to move. You need to beg to move.
I beg to move, First Deputy Speaker, sir.
Thank you. Honourable members, we have a motion on the floor. The motion is requesting this House to adopt the committee report on natural resources, energy, and climate change. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried. The report is adopted. Thank you. Leader.
As guided First Deputy Speaker, we now tackle the report by the Social Welfare Committee. I submit.
Presentation of committee reports. Report of the Parliamentary Committee on Social and Community Affairs on work safety and corporate social responsibility in mining.
Chairperson of the Committee on Social and Community Affairs.
Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, I beg to present the papers standing in my name under item 2D, Roman numeral number 4 of today's order paper.
Sergeant at Arms. Chairperson, do you want to speak to your report?
Right Honourable Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, I want to speak to the report. Thank you.
Please, Chair, proceed to the podium. Thank you. Chairperson, the House seems to be worried on your timekeeping skills. Be guaranteed, Chairperson, I'll be here to remind you, Chairperson. Thank you.
Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I'm the Chairperson for the Social Committee, and I know in 15 minutes' time, it will be time for a healthy break, and that's why members are very worried. I do understand. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I would like to present in this August House, on behalf of the Committee on Social and Community Affairs, on the work that your committee did on the safety and corporate social responsibility in the mining industry in Malawi. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, I'm honored to stand before this august House to present the findings and recommendations of the Parliamentary Committee on Social and Community Affairs following its interface meeting with relevant government ministries, departments, and agencies, and its field visits to the artisanal mining sites in Kasungu District, the Lindian Mining Services Limited project site at Kangankunde Mountain in Balaka District, and the Portland Cement Malawi Limited manufacturing plant in Balaka. The committee conducted its oversight function to address occupational health and safety, corporate social responsibility, environmental compliance and child protection, gender equity, and the broader socio-economic dimension of both the artisanal and large-scale mining in Malawi. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, on behalf of the committee, allow me to express my sincere gratitude to the Right Honourable Speaker and your office for the continued guidance and support for the oversight work of parliamentary committees. I also commend my fellow committee members for their diligence and the commitment throughout this process. And I recognize the invariable logistical and technical support rendered by the Clerk of Parliament, Mrs. Fiona Kalemba, and the entire committee secretariat led by Mr. Fred Kamani. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, the committee extends its gratitude to all MDAs who participated in these interface meetings, including the Minister of Natural Resources, Energy and Mining, the Minister of Labour, Skills, Innovation, and the Minister of Gender, Children, Disability, Social Welfare, and the Mines and Minerals Regulatory Authority, MMRA, and the National Children's Commission. The committee further acknowledges the cooperation of the Lindian Mining Services Limited, Portland Cement Malawi Limited, the Takura Gold Mining and Processing Company, local community leaders, traditional authorities, and district officials in Kasungu and Baraka districts. Interface with the government MDS. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, your committee held an interface meeting with the relevant MDAs on 4th December 2025, which was convened in the wake of a series of fatal accidents occurring in different mines across Malawi. Most prominently, the Kasungu mine collapse, which claimed 8 lives, of all were women and children. And also other 5 members of the community were injured in October and in November 2025. The committee convened this meeting to obtain a comprehensive account of the circumstances surrounding these incidents, to assess the adequacy of the regulatory framework, occupational safety, and to understand the government's plans for preventing further recurrences. On the onset, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I want to emphasize the point that the committee was interested because the Kasungu accident actually affected the ones who died in the accident were women and children. Mr. First Speaker, sir, the committee established that artisanal mining has expanded rapidly across Malawi, driven primarily by poverty and the absence of viable livelihood alternatives. The committee observed that artisanal mining is an effect of functioning as an informal social protection mechanisms for vulnerable households, particularly those headed by women and single mothers. Any regulatory response must therefore be accompanied by a complementary alternative livelihood and capacity building interventions to avoid inadvertently deepening poverty. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, the committee further noted a troubling trend of foreign actors financing or directly financing illegal mining operations in Malawi. They have covetedly using local labor and evading legal accountability. In addition, the committee observed that some traditional leaders frequently allocate mining pits or pieces of land to interested parties without reference to legal requirements or safety standards. and the financial vulnerability of some chiefs makes them susceptible to inducement from the mining interests. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, the committee's engagement with the Mines and Minerals Regulatory Authority, MMRA, confirmed that the primary challenge is not an absence of laws, but a systematic failure of compliance and enforcement compounded by the authorities' limited staffing, equipment, financing, and geographical reach. The committee also noted with concern that child labor in and around mine sites is increasing, and that women in Atsuno mining face multiple vulnerabilities, including physical safety risks and increased exposure to exploitation. Visit to Kasungu District. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, your committee visited 2 sites in Kasungu District, the active Atsuno mining area at Chitantamapiri, where the mining collapse occurred, and the Takura Gold Mine and Processing Company on the banks of the Riziri River. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, at Chitantamapiri, the committee observed that with great concern that Atsuno mining activities remain both active and ongoing, even after the recent fatal collapse. The committee noted that the complete absence of occupational health and safety measures, including the total lack of personal protective equipment, first aid facilities, and emergency protocols. The committee also noted that some workers had their legs paralyzed some days after working in chemically contaminated mud, which may suggest severe mercury poisoning. Additionally, the committee was also informed that approximately 50 women and some children are involved in activities at the site, carrying excavated stone from mine pits to loading areas, exposing them to chemical processing risks and physical strain without any protective measures whatsoever. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, the committee was equally troubled by the evidence of organized third-party investment at the site, including mechanized drilling machines and a grinding mill, suggesting that unidentified investors are profiting from the labor of Atsuno miners without any formal accountability. Community members further reported that the most individuals mining at the site are outsiders from the communities, meaning that the local community members bear all the risks of mining while receiving few of its benefits, and have also reduced their agricultural activities as it is being replaced by their mining activities. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, the committee identified serious regulatory violations at one of the mining sites called Itakura Gold Mining and Processing Company. The company asserted that to the committee that it operates a contained water management system. However, the committee directly observed during its inspection that the company was actively pumping water from the Riziri River and discharging some processed waste into the river. The committee notes that the company's operations are also located in close proximity to the riverbank in violation of the minimum distance of 70 meters as per regulatory requirement. The committee regards these observations as evidence of deliberate misrepresentation to an oversight body. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, members reported that the water from Riziri River occasionally appears reddish in color and has a bitter taste, and that individuals using the river water have experienced health symptoms consistent with chemical contamination. The committee notes that no independent water quality testing has ever been conducted despite the non-use of cyanide and mercury at local mining operations. The committee regards this as a critical public that demands immediate action. The committee further noted that approximately 14 to 15 mining companies in Kasungu area are using cyanide and mercury in their operations, with environmental regulations not being consistently enforced against any of them, as well as a failure to enforce occupational safety standards for the uncontrolled use of cyanide and mercury in processing without protective measures or ventilation. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, your committee urges the government to urgently strengthen the institutional capacity of MMRA through additional inspectors and enforcement of equipment, immediately investigate and take enforcement actions against uncontrolled use of cyanide and mercury at Sono mining and processing sites, and conduct independent water testing across all the river sources, especially Riziri River, and make the findings public and take formal enforcement actions against all the perpetrators of the activities happening now. And also, there is need to investigate foreign actors financing illegal mining and address the financial vulnerabilities of traditional leaders through community development funds linked to the mining loyalties. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, your committee also paid a visit to Lindian Mining Services Company. This is a foreign company, and it is based at Kangankude mountain in a community in Balaka district. So far, this company is doing so good, and they have done a great deal of corporate social responsibility, and all the work standards are being followed. And we were so impressed, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, to see that this company has constructed a primary school, a police station, a police unit, and again a nursery school, and a health clinic. We think this is a model that all the other companies and all the other big mining companies should follow in Malawi. Your committee, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, also visited the Portland Cement Company. This company, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, your committee observed that the company had invested over $100 million in a new cement manufacturing plant. And in terms of work safety, they are trying their best to follow all the required work safety issues, but they have some issues with the communities surrounding them. As such, your committee is of the view that we need to make a follow-up to see that the conflicts that are there between the company and the surrounding communities should be resolved amicably. Broader recommendations. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, beyond the specific recommendations, you're cross-cutting calls to government. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, the committee recommends that the establishment of community artisanal mining support program to be designed by Tiveta Authority and the MMRA in collaboration with their line ministries. The program should encompass 4 components: mobile Tiveta training, delivered directly to mining communities in local languages, support for cooperative formations, and simplified licensing pathways for registered artisanal mining corporations, to facilitate access to appropriate safety equipment through subsidized procurement or revolving fund mechanisms, and a regulated mineral purchasing and monitoring mechanism with the Reserve Bank of Malawi. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, the committee recommends that this community artisanal mining support program financed through TVET and urges government to treat the settlement of outstanding TVET levy arrears as a priority, with this program explicitly identified as one of the initiatives to be funded. The committee further recommends that the establishment of formal representatives association for artisanal miners in all active mining areas to serve as their collective voice and to facilitate cooperative organization, safety advocacy, and engagement with government companies. Last but not the least, the committee also calls for dedicated child labor elimination program targeting mining areas to be implemented by the National Children's Commission in collaboration with the Ministry of Gender and the MMRA. The adoption of gender-responsive approaches in all mining policy reforms, including targeted safety measures for women, the establishment of a mining health surveillance system, and monitor mining-related illnesses and chemical exposure in affected communities, and the adequate resourcing, technical assistance, and institutional links to regulatory authorities. Conclusion. Mr. Speaker, sir, the conditions observed at Chitantamapiri at Sono mining site and the Takura Gold Mining and Processing Company are deeply alarming and represent a public health and environmental emergency that demands immediate government action. The Kasungu mining collapse, which claimed 8 lives, was not an isolated incident, but a foreseeable consequence of issues which might keep on repeating in the future. While mining is an emerging opportunity for Malawian economy, if not well taken care of, it might turn into a curse for our country. Let's invest more in this field so that lies the potential that this field has. On behalf of the Committee on Social and Community Affairs, I want to thank you, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, and the whole House for considering this report. And at this moment, I beg to move that the report and its recommendation be adopted by the whole House. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, I beg to move.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Thank you very much. Honourable members, may I recognize seconder of the report, the honourable member from Zimba
East.
Honourable member from Zimba East, you have the floor.
Thank you. Thank you, First Deputy Speaker, sir, for recognizing the people of Zimba East. To second the report of the Parliamentary Committee on Social and Community Affairs on Work Safety, Corporate Social Responsibility in Mining. First Deputy Speaker, sir, I rise as a member of Parliamentary Committee on Social and Community Affairs to second the report that has just been ably presented by the Chairperson, Honourable Savel Kafafa, MP. I associate myself fully with the observations, findings, and recommendations contained in that report. First Deputy Speaker, sir, I participated in the field visits to Kasungu and Baraka districts, and I must tell this Honourable House that what we witnessed was deeply troubling. At the Chitamapiri artisanal mining site in Kasungu, we found miners, including some women and children, working without a single piece of protective equipment, descending into unstable pits that have already claimed 8 lives. The majority of them were women, and yet, when we arrived, operations had not stopped. This Honourable House must ask, how many more lives must be lost before the government takes proactive measures? First Deputy Speaker, sir, as a woman, I feel compelled to draw the attention of this House to the particular vulnerability of women in artisanal mining and processing sites. They carry the heaviest loads, they absorb the most chemical exposure, and they return home to feed their children with earnings that do not reflect those risks. The majority of the victims of the Kasungu collapse were women. The majority of the workers ferrying loads in the sites, even after that tragedy, are women. This is not a coincidence. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, it is a reflection of a poverty so deep that grief itself cannot stop a mother from returning to work the very next day. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I also wish to highlight the plight of children at these sites. We saw some children at Chitanhamapiri, though they tried to hide when they saw the honorable members of your house, Mr. Speaker. Some were also in Liziri River, where some mining activity is being done. Children carrying stone, children breathing dust and chemical fumes. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I echo the committee's emphatic appeal. The National Children's Commission and the Minister of Gender, as well as the Minister of Labor, must act without further delay to enforce child labor laws in all artisanal mining areas. No child should be in any mining process. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, at Indian Mining in Balaka, we saw a different picture. A large company making genuine investment in the community, building a school, a bridge, maintaining roads. This is what responsible mining can look like. But community members also told us of unfair recruitment, unequal pay, and compensation that had lost its value to devaluation before payout. The goodwill of any mining company must be matched by transparency, fairness, and enforceable accountability. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, I urge this Honourable House to adopt this report and call on government to implement its recommendation without delay. Independent water quality testing of the Liziri River must happen immediately, and the community artisanal mining support program proposed in this report must be funded and operationalized as a matter of urgency, so that the communities who take these risks have the cooperatives established, training, the equipment, and the protection they deserve. Mr. Speaker, sir, the community of Chitanhamapiri and Kangankude are not asking for charity. They are asking to be treated with dignity, to mine safely, to be paid fairly, and to benefit from the wealth that comes out of their own land. This House has the power and the responsibility to ensure that happens. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, I beg to second. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for those secondment words. Honorable members, it is 15:38. When we return, after the health break, I will recognize the three members to add their voice. And those members will be the same members that are risen. We'll start from Zomba, Chingale, Mzimba Perekezi, and the honorable member. And the two honorable members on my left, I'm failing to decide who to choose. For now, I'll say Kasungu Central. Then the Honourable Minister of Gender would like also to be one of the contributors. Honourable members, it is 15:39. I therefore suspend proceedings for a health break, and the House resumes sitting at 16:09. House suspended. Oh, there's a visit.